Hello, and welcome to the Great Game Debate Podcast, where friends come together to talk about video games and our lives. I'll be your host, Caden Barthelane, as always, and I'm joined by the godfather of the debate himself, Jonah Gomez. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I've been playing way too much Fortnite, and it's not just because the season's restarted. This no build thing. I mean, dude, you kind of got me like super sucked into it. The no build's great. I've been playing with Steven a lot. It's just
A new season. Those wolves aren't going to ride themselves. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, speaking of Steven, the saucy Aussie himself, how you doing, man?
Doing well. Yeah, I was up till like 2:30 a.m. playing the first day or day zero of the new Fortnite season with the lads. So yeah, pretty seedy, but hanging in.
Did either of you guys catch the limited time in-game event or whatever?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did. It was pretty cool, actually.
Nice.
It was really cool. You get to pilot a mech and you're shooting like rockets and laser beams and machine guns.
Okay.
It was pretty cool, and then you just get to see this like whole epic world-changing event, and then the game's down for like 16 hours. And 12-year-olds are crying all over the world.
Yep. Well, we're also joined by none other than our man in the closet, Wes Bates. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I'm lame, and I haven't been playing any Fortnite with anybody. I've been too busy researching useless video game trivia. So here's a nugget for you.
Ooh.
In Shadow of the Colossus, there was an unused item in the game called the Eye of the Colossus, which would allow you to switch camera perspectives to the viewpoint of the Colossus as you are attacking it. So you basically see, Wander that's Wander, right?
Yeah, it's Wander.
Yeah, there's like climbing up your leg, basically, like
that is bizarre.
While you're, making your attempt to, stab it in the forehead or something like that.
Turtles arcade game. It reminds me of that.
Yeah.
So, also, I had heard something new that I hadn't heard before, which was that apparently none of the colossi actually have shadows, because they're actually made of light. They're created to contain the darkness of the dark deity that you're trying to free, so that they don't actually cast a shadow. You're the ones that are following them around, so technically you are the shadow of the Colossus.
Whoa.
You just blew my mind, dude. I'm gonna go to our YouTube rabbit hole later on that. But we are all extremely pleased this week to have the honor of having our guest, Matt Storm from the Fun and Games podcast. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I haven't been playing Fortnite recently, but I've been playing a different online game that I've been obsessed with, Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good one.
I started at the end of last year. I had the base game in Heaven's Word from ages ago, and I had bounced off it. And friends of mine had been. I'll throw Jesse Vitelli from Prima Games under the bus.
Shout out to Jesse.
Please do.
For being obsessed with it, and I'd known Jesse for a few years, and I was just like, wait, you play 14? You've never mentioned it. He's like, dude. And so I started playing, and I started as a warrior, then became a paladin. Now I'm a dark knight, and I'm absolutely hooked. I took a break for a while because there was some new stuff coming out, and then a few weeks ago, I was like, well, what if I bought all of the expansions and then turned into a bunny boy? And so now I am now a sexy Twinkie bunny boy, and still a dark knight, which is hilarious. And I'm in Heaven's Word proper. I'm about halfway through the story, and I'm excited to eventually, I don't know, 1,000 hours from now, to go to the moon, because that's what I hear you doing on Walker.
Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm just
if you
waiting for that
turned
right
into
time
a
in my
wizard,
life.
you could be a wizard from the moon.
Ooh. Well, all right, guys. I hope you stopped by the Kingdom of Pridemore and picked up your shovel, because it's time for the icebreaker.
Yeah.
All right. This week we've got a question coming in from the community. Let's see. Our question is, I write that. Okay. I love getting immersed in a game world and spending time there. As someone who has spent a few hundred hours in the world of The Witcher 3, that is certainly a sensation that made me stick around for a long time. What have been your favorite game worlds to be immersed in? I forgot to write the name of who sent this in, but I would assume it's probably Chris Snow because he's like huge Witcher fan, maybe
I think
Traveling
I think
Snowman.
it, I think it was Chris. I think you're right.
Nice. All right,
Thank
shout out to
you,
Chris.
Traveling Snowman.
I'll toss it to you, Matt, since you're our guest. You can take it away.
So anyone who knows me at all on the internet and follows me on Twitter will be shocked to know that my game series that I would mention first is the Mass Effect series. As a renowned Mass Effect fan and having his own Mass Effect podcast retrospective, yeah, the world of Mass Effect, the world of the Citadel and the Milky Way galaxy, like I've played through. Okay, let's do some math. So I played through the first game 8 times leading up, 4 times leading up to the second game. Then I played 1 and 2 8 times leading up to the third game. I only played the third game
Holy.
twice because I got disheartened because I was a stupid teenager and I didn't know any better. But then for the retrospective, replayed it all again. The pitch for the show Reignite I'm referring to is that me and my co-host played as if we were Shepard and made decisions as if we were Shepard, which only more immersed me in the world. And it was a lot of fun to do that. And I've since refallen in love with 3, realized that the whole game is an ending and that people who hate that game are too short-sighted. Come for me if you must on the internet. And yeah, I love that world. I love the characters. I love my favorite Krogans, Rex, and Grunt. Like that, it's just a game series that, especially if you really put yourself into it, like there's so much to get lost in between the codexes, the locations, the characters, the villains, everything. So yeah, the Mass Effect trilogy is definitely my easy answer for that.
What
Heck
about
yeah,
what about Andromeda?
So
yeah.
funny you should ask that as I put on my pitching hat. So we are currently in our 4th season of Reignite, and the 4th season is Andromeda.
Okay.
And fun fact, I never played Andromeda when it came out. I missed
really?
it. It came out the same year as Breath of the Wild and the Switch, and I went, well, I could buy a Mass Effect game that nobody likes or Breath of the Wild. That's not really a hard choice to make. And so I never played it. And then my co-host, shout out to Frankie Bradley, my co-host, when they realized that I hadn't played it and we were getting close to the end of the trilogy, they were like, well, now you can't. I'm banning you from playing it, and you will play it for the first time for the show. And so
interesting.
The current season, we made riders. We chose to make the opposite rider, the brother or sister, depending, based on each other, as if we were siblings. And we were doing the same thing. As rider, we are making decisions as if we would make them. And I am experiencing the game for the first time. My friend Frankie is shepherding me through the experience. And it's been fun. I mean, I've so far loved the hell out of Andromeda. The characters are great. You know, it has the same open world problems that Dragon Age Inquisition has, I think.
Sure.
But coming to it now without the internet vitriol gives me an honest way to see it, and I am quite enjoying it. I haven't made a final, like, this is how I feel about the game yet, because I feel like I need to finish it first and maybe play it once without the show at my own pace to really gauge it, but I'm having fun so far. Needless from the show, like I'm enjoying the characters in the world, and that it's more like Star Trek instead of Star Wars. And I'm a big I'm a both a Star Wars and a Star Trek nerd, but like I love the boldly go, discover new people, we come in peace, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more of that in Andromeda. So I'm enjoying it so far.
That's cool.
You can tune into the podcast to find out all of my other thoughts.
Heck
Awesome.
yeah.
One question. So,
Steven, we can't
Robot
understand.
voice, Steven.
We're getting
That's
Robo
crafty.
Steven.
Robo Steven, yeah.
Robo Steven, no.
But I was curious, Matt, if you could give an example of like just like one decision in the game that you play differently with the mindset, like what would Shepard do? Like how does that play out exactly?
So, I mean, some of the decisions, I am a goody two shoes and a caring person, so I play pretty Paragon, surprising absolutely no one who knows me. But I will say I can talk about an experience and a series of decisions that were different. I always thought Caden was kind of a plank of wood, very boring, very straightforward, like a lot of folks did in the franchise, in the same way that I often viewed Ashley as a space racist and nothing more. And the reality is there is more to both of those characters, right? But we want to put them in a box so we can kind of identify them. On this playthrough, I really got to know Caden. I'm also a queer person and like someone who, when I first played the Mass Effect franchise, was not as in touch with his queerness. Like I knew I was. It's something you kind of always know, but like I'd not had any relationships with anyone other than the opposite sex, whatever the that means. And like so I hadn't really explored that. And so on this playthrough, like getting to know Caden, really spending time with him, developing a friendship, I let myself fall for him in the game. And so I ended up pursuing a relationship and I made the choice. My choice that was different being me was instead of romancing Thane, the obvious best choice, I romanced Caden. Also, I'll say because I couldn't romance Thane as male Shep, which is bogus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
I
fell for Caden, and that was really surprising to me. Like I know folks who love him, and I always kind of wrote him off, and it was really cool to like re-experience that character and really see him in a different light because I was putting myself so much more into the game.
That's awesome.
It's really interesting. I never
Steve.
thought about the same sex because obviously whenever I'm trying to do different things, I always play like as femshep, and obviously I just find the actor for femshep so much more engaging. And there's so many options for same-sex female couples, but I didn't realize it was a bit more limited on the male side.
It's very limited. And I mean, shout out to both Jennifer Hale and Mark Meir. They both do an amazing job, but I was the same way. When my canon shepherd is a femme shep because I love Jennifer Hale from all of her work before Mass Effect.
Yeah,
but when we were going into this, and I hadn't come out as non-binary at the time when we started the trilogy. So like I identified at that time, at least, more closely to male, so I picked male shepherd, and I found a lot more love for Mark Meir and no, like Jennifer Hale is this legend, but Mark Meir has grown in my heart and has also, of course, done a million things since then. But like, I think not enough people give him credit for his work as well, just because it's nuanced in a very different way from Jennifer Hale. Because Jennifer Hale is this powerhouse of voice acting, whereas Mark Meir, I think, takes a more subtle kind of like low-key approach and like really shines actually in the Citadel DLC. Like the comedy of that DLC really shows you what Mark Meir can do for sure.
Awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, that was a great answer. Spent I don't know, maybe 2 minutes on, so we'll just do a quick lightning round. Everybody else, yeah, we'll go up to Jonah. No, it was great. What's your answer to the question, Jonah? What has been your favorite game world to be immersed in?
So easy answer is Zelda, since I've got a Hylian sword or a Hylian shield and Master Sword on my wall. But I'd say the more interesting answer for me that I don't really share a lot about is I'm a huge Fallout person. I love the Fallout series, so I'd have to say New Vegas. I've probably played the most. The correct answer is New Vegas. Yes. That's my favorite Fallout.
It's the best Fallout.
It is the best Fallout. Like just the world is so much more expanded on. The gameplay's better than 3. A lot of people, they're constantly fighting that 3's better than New Vegas, but the gameplay's just not. It's not.
So you're saying you prefer brown to green? Is what they...
Yeah, exactly. I prefer brown to green. But yeah, Fallout New Vegas. I wish I had a tracker for how long I've played. I guess
it'd be cool if that game had the Breath of the Wild map feature where you could see like your path you went the whole game. Yeah. You know,
I think the only other game series that I've probably put the most time into, which a lot of people don't think about this when you talk about this game, but it'd probably be like Rock Band or Guitar Hero, because when I was a teenager, just rhythm games were my jam, dude. I was playing so much the Rock Band. I had the full setup. I had drums, mic, both guitars. Like I played a lot of Rock Band as a kid, and I swear I've probably put in close to 1,000 hours in just Rock Band.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Jonah, we're gonna be best friends. I can see it now. It's destined to be.
My good buddy Luke, one of my best friends, he gets the Facebook. I don't know what they call it. It's where they just pull up a picture from like 10 years ago or something. And it was us like in middle school, like doing the cheesy like back-to-back thing, like playing guitars on Guitar Hero in his dad's basement. Yeah. But yeah, great answers, Jonah. What about you, Wes?
My favorite world is probably also The Witcher 3. Like Chris's. But in light of of his answer, I'll give a different answer, which was probably Yarnum from Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just absolutely love the lore that comes with that whole world, the whole setup, everything. I mean, you can really run and, fall down a rabbit hole with everything that's going on in that game and all the different characters and their backstories and history and yeah, it's and just the overall like mood of that game. It's easy to get drawn in and yeah, it's just a great world too. Not a great world. It's obviously like it's a very dark world.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to live there.
No.
No, you wouldn't want to live there, but it's easy for getting kind of like sucked in and engaged in it,
Of
and
course.
really kind of like trying to figure out what happened to this place that made it what it is today.
Yeah, I think both The Witcher 3 and like the Mass Effect series, it's just one of those games where you can just spend forever just reading lore entries and talking to people and not actually like making progress. I haven't really played Mass Effect at all. I played like 5 hours of Mass Effect 1, and that literally consisted of me just walking around like the first city talking to people and reading lore entries and not actually doing anything. So yeah, what about you, Steven?
Yeah, so talking about not making progress, that is definitely going to be my answer. But probably the most time I've ever spent with the game was obviously the Pokemon series, but singular game. Breath of the Wild, I've gotten about 200 hours into 2 playthroughs and stuff,
Yeah.
master mode and
Yeah.
stuff. But my answer is Skyrim.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Because like if you talk to 80% of people didn't finish the game, but it's all journey. It's all the journey.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like the most engaging single player MMO because like that's it. Like, it's about like, just discovering a world and really, really immersing yourself into. I've never still there aren't any games that I know of other than an MMO that have as many quests as this game. Like, it's just insane. Like, I know that's why I was so disappointed in Fallout 4, because it was like so stripped down compared to Skyrim, and I pumped like I'd have to be closing. I would have been closing in on 1,000 hours into Skyrim, and
Wow.
you're just still seeing more stuff. And every time you say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a paladin," and then you end up with the Dark Brotherhood again.
How
That's
could
too
you
cool.
not know? I mean, come on.
But like the fact that the underground all connects in just crazy ways, you can go pretty much across the map underground, is just insane. Just a wild world, and just it was a unique experience for me, because all of my mates were, at the time we were all people that could buy that game and all immerse ourselves and discover it together. It felt like what it felt like when Breath of the Wild released, where it was just this discovery adventure for everyone, and it was just magic.
Yeah, great answer. I just love about Skyrim how it's like there's so many, just even like repetitive lines characters say that's just like suffused like the collective, unconscious of gamers. Like, oh, I used to be an adventurer like you. I took an arrow to the knee, or oh, you looking to protect yourself or deal some damage, or just all that kind of stuff.
Stole my sweet roll.
Yeah, even
Some people call these junk. Me, I call them treasures.
there you go. There's the Kaji guy, he's like, if you have
Kaji
coin,
has
Kaji, that's wares. Yeah. Good stuff. Mine would probably be the world in Radiata Stories, which
Oh, God,
I don't know
here we
if you've
go.
heard of this, Matt. This is like an obscure PS2 RPG that no one's ever heard of, but I talk about all the time, so these guys are tired of hearing about it. But
He pitched it last episode, so if you want to find out
It's
more
so
about
good.
it, you listen to the last episode in the
Yeah.
pitch section. It's right there.
It's honestly one of my favorite games, but what's interesting about the game world is there's a hub world in the city that's on an hourly schedule, and every citizen in the city is literally on an hourly schedule. It's not like some bullcrap like in before Witcher 3 was coming out, where they're like, every citizen's living a life, and they're not really. They're just walking in the walls and stuff. Like, they're literally doing stuff in this. Yeah, and almost every character in the game is like recruitable as a party member, so you have to like follow them around and talk to them and like see what they need help with in order to like talk to them. My favorite one's this guy. He's just like this random mercenary guy with just like a big sword and a helmet, and he's like a loner and like depressed. I think his name's Gabe or Gabriel, but his mom runs an inn in town, and if you go talk to his mom every day, she like asks you if you'll go hang out with him. She's like trying to find a friend for him, and at first he just ignores you and won't
Aw.
even talk back to you. You do it for a few days, and he starts opening up, and then he eventually joins your team. It's good stuff. But yeah, I
thought
just
you were
love that
gonna-
game.
I thought you were gonna say his name was Gats.
Yes. Cool. Thanks again, Traveling Snowman, for sending that question. Chris, shout out. And we'll just move right along real quick, Matt, to our little interview section with you. I think most of us probably know you from the Fun and Games podcast. If you want to give a quick like elevator pitch for that, and maybe just, I know you do like a ton of podcasts, so anything else you kind of want to give a shout out to or describe for listeners?
Sure. So, I mean, the thing about me is I'm the they or the them at this point, as I'm still getting used to that. That does too much. I host 4 podcasts, produce 4 podcasts, edit 3 podcasts. Some of that is crossover with the same shows, but and I until very recently had a full-time job. So like I do too much. But Fun and Games podcast I do with my incredible co-host Jeff Moonen, and the idea for that show was Jeff and I talk too much about video games, and one day our spouses were like, "You should start a podcast," and we're like, "You know what? We will." And we did. And the idea behind Fun and Games is we didn't want to do a review show or like a quiz show, or like we wanted to do something. We just wanted to talk about the world of games, talk about the ins and outs of the world of games, genres. We wanted to have guests on who are developers, social media managers, people who aren't the auteurs like Kojima. No disrespect to Kojima, I guess. I'm not particularly a huge fan of his, but like he's considered an auteur like many others. And like we wanted to get kind of down and deep. We wanted to talk more about indie games. Anyone who listens knows how obsessed Jeff and I are about Shovel Knight as one of our favorite indie games of all time. But like the idea of the show was just let's talk about games, or let's bring guests on to talk about games. And it's been a really fun journey. And over the course of that, Wes has given me the pleasure of having him within the mini series within the show called Side Quests. The idea of Side Quests is it spotlights for 5 to 15, 20 minutes, one host talking about a game they love and why they love it. That's it. No parameters other than to say our catchphrase, but otherwise no parameters, no rules. No game is unacceptable because all games are worth talking about. I've kind of not really been talking about Activision Blizzard games right now for obvious reasons, but beyond beyond that obvious reason, and it's a different host, and that spawned from I'm a big Paper Mario fan, and when the new game was coming out, there was a screenshot of the battle system, and people were saying this game is going to suck, and I went, "You're looking at a screenshot. How do you know this game is going to suck? I hate Twitter. I need to put something positive into the world." So that's when I created Side Quests.
Awesome.
We most recently aired our 157th episode. It's been great. Wes did an episode on Okami, which is a game I absolutely love, and I was glad to have that episode. Yes, I so far can recall every episode every person's done. I don't know how long that'll keep up, but I can at least currently do it. But yeah, and it's been a blast, and I've always loved talking about games, but my angle has always been there's enough negativity in the world about games, and there are things worth pointing out, the stuff like the aforementioned Activision Blizzard garbage, but like I think when talking about games, we should be allowed to love them, and talk about why we love them without just being judged that, oh, that game sucks, so you suck for liking that game. Like, I hate that nonsense. And so that show and the sub-series were like to put that out into the world. And then I do 3 other podcasts. One is the Reignite, which I mentioned before. I do an interview series called CPOV Autographs, where I interview a guest or guests. It's just kind of a casual chat show. It was my way to do interview podcasts better than the comedians who we've now canceled anyway because they suck.
Right.
And then I do a TV and movie podcast called Screen Snark with my incredible co-host Rachel Quirky Shank, and it's the 2 of us and a guest talking about the most recent thing we watched, and then just kind of interviewing the guest, and it's kind of casual chat about current media. So yeah, that's as quick as that elevator pitch as I can give. There's more, but like I don't want to like take up the whole 2 hours.
Sure. Wow, busy person. That's incredible. Yeah, I'll just open it up real quick to the 3 of you guys if you have any final questions for Matt before we move on.
Yeah, I have one, which is CPOV as a whole. Is that are all the podcasts that you work on under that moniker, and are there any other shows or any other media that you work with in conjunction with other people that fall under CPOV?
Yes, great question. So Certain POV and certainpov.com is a collection of nerdy podcasts. I do not work on all of them, thank God. I would probably die. But I do edit 2 of the shows on the network. We have a Superman podcast called Men of Steel, which I edit, and then a movie podcast called Another Pass, where the hosts bring a guest on and take another pass at a movie that needed something more, whether it was awful or mediocre or good, but needed another pass. And every 5th episode, they talk about a movie that got another pass and like shouldn't have been a success, but was, i.e., your Ghostbusters of the world. But there are a ton of other shows on the network. We have book podcasts, comic book podcasts. We have TV podcasts. We have a weekly podcast where 2 hosts literally run down the movies every week that came out. They usually review most, if not all of them. It's wild. I don't know how the hell they keep up with it. We've got, I don't know, 12 shows, 15 shows. I've lost count. Once it was more than 10, I couldn't keep up anymore. But it's a great community. We have our own Discord server. And yeah, it's really awesome. I love being a part of it. We're always looking for new shows. Our expansion's kind of slowed down as we're trying to like refocus, figure out how we can better market the shows that are already on the network, but we advertise for each other's shows. We often do guest ad spots and ad swaps with other shows off the network. We've teamed with other networks too for special like week-long events, like we did a Batman week or Dark Knight Fortnite, 2 weeks leading up to the Batman.
That's awesome.
A bunch of different shows talked about Batman. Before all the hullabaloo about Cyberpunk, we did plan a Cyberpunk week, and we focused it to be more about the Cyberpunk genre and not so much the game that had a lot of ethical issues with it.
Yeah.
But like we do tons of crossover and outreach, and yeah, it's just a really cool, fun home for nerdy indie podcasts. They're just looking for like some camaraderie and a way to grow together.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah,
I'm
that's super
surprised
cool.
you have time to eat and sleep, let alone play video games, between all the podcasting and editing you're doing. But also, now that we all know each other, we're all good friends, we'll roll right along into the debate. So I'll pass that over to Jonah.
All right. Welcome back to the debate. And we're thinking about the little guys on this one. We have the Mario Sidekick debate today with Matt representing Luigi versus Steven and Cappy. Now, I'd say this wouldn't be the ultimate sidekick debate without Wes. I feel bad calling Wes a sidekick because Wes is so much more than a sidekick, but he's gonna be the assist trophy today.
It's fine. I know my place in the world.
What the heck? That ain't
Well,
right.
I really put my foot in my mouth when I started that.
Yeah.
you did.
Anyway, we've got the 2-minute opening for each contestant, the 2-minute rebuttal, and then the 2-minute close, with you guys deciding when you want Wes to assist you as your sidekick. And Matt, I will let you decide. Would you like to start or close the debate today?
I will close the debate.
You'll
today.
close the debate. All right.
Confidence.
Steven, I got 2 minutes on the clock. Are you ready?
Maybe. Let's see.
All right. 3, 2, 1, debate.
Okay. When I think about sidekicks, what do I want? Cappy is uplifting, insightful, and transformative. These are absolutely, predominantly the most amazing traits you could want in a sidekick. Literally, when I say he's uplifting, you can jump on top of Cappy and just stay in the air for prolonged periods of time. Cappy is the ultimate form of platforming. In the greatest platforming series of all time, Cappy literally made me fall in love with Mario more than I ever have. This is my favorite Mario game because it's so crisp. So incredibly crisp. Once you learn how to move around with Cappy, rolling and double jumping and floating to him, or if you're small ant on YouTube. You can use your feet and play 2-player, and you move Cappy around by yourself. It's insane. And then insightful. Cappy, first of all, he has an emotional story, an emotional connection, and a goal that you do as well. But you both have individual goals to save someone, but you're working together for this goal. He restores Mario's hat. Like, that is
30
an
seconds.
upsetting moment. Oh my god, how did that time go so quickly? But he also teaches you the moves during the loading screens. He's amazing when you're flying in the Odyssey. And then transformative, you literally get to experience other characters of the Mario universe as Mario, and you get to have an insight on the psyche of Bowser himself at the climax of this game. Cappy.
Wow. I give you a silent applause, Stephen. I'm feeling emotional. Like, I had like a big brain like explosion moment when you were like, in the like most legendary platform franchise of all time, Cappy is a platform. Very nice.
All right, Matt, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. That was good. No, I mean, I'm a Cappy fan, so you know, I'm battling against something I like, which is always like that's the most cutthroat kind of battle. But I'm ready.
Excellent. 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, debate.
Okay, when you want a sidekick, you want someone caring, lovable, kind, you know, a little skittish, protective, someone who wants to take care of themselves and you. I'm talking about Luigi. There's no one better as a sidekick than Luigi. He's Mario's big brother. He's got, you know, a ton of skills that we're only still just learning about. He's been in more than one game, but more on that later. But he is just, you know, the epitome. Like, he started as a palette swap, right? In the original games, it was a way to be a player too. But as a little brother, like, Luigi was the little brother's character, like your Tails or whatever else. He's the character you played as. And there's this kinship with the aura of Luigi. But even more so in the later Mario games, he's a team player. I mean, there is no Mario without Luigi, especially in the later games. They are a pair. They are family. They take care of each other. You know, it's just, I can't imagine there being a better sidekick from Mario than someone who's always looking out for him and taking care of him. Someone who has his back at every turn, will rescue him in a pinch. That's the kind of person you want in your corner as a sidekick in the Mario franchise. Someone who also doesn't want the spotlight, is just happy to be there. Kind of the golden retriever of Mario characters. And that's okay. Everyone loves a golden retriever. Someone who's just happy to be there. I know that feeling because, you know, that's the energy I tend to give off, you know.
30
but
seconds.
Luigi is always there and always wants to help Mario succeed. It's never about Luigi's fame and fortune. It's never about Luigi's time. Cappy has an agenda, but Luigi's just there. He's there to be Luigi, the big brother to Mario, your best friend. I yield my time.
Ooh.
Wow.
Leaving 10 seconds on the table.
This is like the most like beautiful like debate.
Yeah.
I know.
You guys are just like making me like reminisce about my memories of Luigi and Cappy and like tearing up with tears of happiness. Like, I just love those guys.
All right.
Now to tear it all to pieces.
Yeah, let's get cutthroat, boys. Woo! All right. Steven, you got 2 minutes. 3,
All right.
2, 1, debate.
It's gonna get brutal now, so I'm gonna pop my assist trophy before it gets really dark.
All right, Wes, go.
Okay. All right. In the last Super Mario game, Mario is on an adventure to save Peach and Cappy's sister from Bowser's clutches. Where is Luigi? He's busy hiding balloons. He offers no real support.
10 seconds.
He's everywhere you go, but he's never actually helpful. Hey, bro, you want to find a balloon? Okay, let's go. That's what you get from Luigi.
Time. Go ahead, Steven.
Incredible.
All right. Getting dark now. Luigi, the ultimate beta cuck. Now, this man is a coward. This man offers nothing, and I'll explain why. Literally the worst wingman in history, right? So, right. Mario and Peach have always had a bit of a rocky history, okay? There's a little bit of a cat and mouse game going on. We don't exactly know what's happened. But, so Mario, he took a holiday, okay? He went to Ibiza, whatever. He went to a little place called Super Mario Land. Meets a girl, cool. No worries, comes back home. No harm, no foul. So, while just hanging out, playing golf, oh, who's this? Oh, Daisy. It's like, oh, and Peach is like, who's this? And Luigi's like, oh yeah, we met at the Mario fan club. Like, oh, it turns out that like Mario knows Daisy from like way back. Like they're really good friends. And then so like ever since then, Mario has gotten no extra play with Peach, and it's all because just Luigi just bringing Daisy into the picture, just throwing spanners in the woodwork. Like,
30 seconds.
What are you doing, dude? You've ruined his chances, and we saw that at the end of Mario Odyssey. She's just like, nah, you're not faithful. You're never into me. You just want to chase a damsel in distress. So I'm sorry, Luigi. You just ruined that play. And plus, terrible kart driver. What an angry person to kart against. Just no sportsmanship at all.
Shout out to the legendary Super Mario Kart 8, angry drifting Luigi.
Luigi death stare.
Yeah.
Look, that's just a man who knows what he wants. That's all.
I suppose. All right, Matt. You got 2 minutes on the clock. You still have Wes as your assist trophy. 3, 2, 1, debate.
Okay, first, just to comment on your whole premise. That, I think, just says more about Mario and the fact that maybe he keeps letting the princess get captured. That seems like a Mario problem, not a Luigi problem. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about Cappy, right? The piece of cloth that helps Mario, who has no bodily autonomy, possesses people without asking first. A little creepy if you ask me. Also, co-starred in one game while Luigi has co-starred in many games, has at least 3 games of his own, if not more. Has sales records. You held up a copy of Luigi's Mansion 3, one of the best games to come out on the Switch. So thank you for helping prove my point. Also, a coward? Yes, he's afraid, but he still gets the job done because cowardice is intelligent. You fear the unknown, but if you still engage while scared, that's true courage. And Luigi is truly courageous. Cappy does whatever Mario tells him to do. Go here, help me possess that dinosaur. Go latch onto that strange-looking actual human that doesn't look like Mario, but is a human like Mario in New Donk City. What is that about? Cappy is useless without Mario. Yeah, you can spin in a circle on your own, but without Mario, he is a little ghost. He needed Mario's help. Meanwhile, Luigi is actually rescuing Mario on his own in the first Luigi's Mansion, literally saving Mario's skin by himself
30 seconds.
in an entire game. All I know is that while Cappy may help you platform, Luigi raises everyone around him to new heights. Luigi is there to support those around him and is more than just a piece of cloth. I yield my time.
Dang! Leaving like a full 20 seconds on the table.
Woo. Who needs it?
Who needs it? Matt doesn't. That's for sure. All right, Steven. You've already used your assist trophy. Let's close out the show. Your final thoughts. Ready, set, debate.
So, I'll just say this one last thing, probably. About Luigi, and I'll talk about Cappy, but there's a game called Mario's Missing.
No.
And
I love that game.
My biggest thought is, was he? Or did he just need some space? Was he just like, sorry, dude, you're just not cool. And like, it's all well and good when people say like, oh, my best friends are my family. And unfortunately, that's Luigi's life. And Mario's like, yeah, I've got like heaps of mates. Like, so I'm just kind of gonna go to this party and see ya. But yeah. Anyway, back on Cappy. Like, literally creates extra video games within a video game. The amount of transformations that Cappy can let you do. changing into the snowballs in the ice world is one of it is a game. The racing game that you can do in that is just phenomenal. So Cappy just encapsulates this absolute amazing sense of just variety and just expression that all of these developers just got to put into Mario Odyssey. It's like, who has an idea? It's like this, and they're like, that sounds really cool. How can we incorporate it with Cappy?
30 seconds.
It's like, cool, we take over a wiggler, and then we can do crazy just X-axis platforming, and it's just phenomenal what you get to do with that character. And just as I said, the movement in Mario Odyssey is better than the movement in Mario 64, is better than the movement in Super Mario Bros. 3. It is so crisp. So damn fun. Cappy for the win.
All right. Matt, you still have your assist trophy.
I would like to open my closing statements with my assist trophy, please.
Excellent. Wes, you've got 30 seconds on the clock. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, debate.
I'd just like to point out that the original name for the Mario series is Super Mario Brothers, referring to Mario and Luigi. It is not called Super Mario and his hat. And as great as Cappy is, Matt has a great point. He has 0
10
autonomy.
seconds.
He can't go or do anything by himself. He is a great tool to Mario, not really a great sidekick.
Time. Matt, go ahead.
So, I mean, I am also going to stick mostly with Luigi, but I do want to point out, you're talking a lot about the great movement in Super Mario Odyssey. And while Cappy does assist in that, most of the movement is Mario, a character you're not here to defend. He does the jumping. He does the leaping. It is his platforming, and it is his game, Super Mario Odyssey, not Super Cappy Odyssey. Meanwhile, there have been 3 Luigi's Mansions. Luigi has been Mario's co-pilot in Double Dash, in tennis, in so many other games. Sure, Luigi may have caused some problems in the more recent tennis game, interacting with an evil tennis racket that then possessed all their friends, but nobody's perfect. And once Luigi was rescued, wanted to help everybody else. You know, who doesn't love a bumbling fool who makes a mistake? Also, Luigi makes Mario look good. He's a goofball, he's dorky, he's referred to often as Green Mario in the Mario and Luigi games. But at the end of the day, no matter what happens between these two, they are, as Wes says, brothers
30
who
seconds.
love each other. Mario and Luigi Mario.
Oh, no.
They are the Mario brothers. They are the ultimate team, and he, Luigi, is the best sidekick in gaming. There's no doubt about it, and especially handily the best sidekick in the Mario Brothers series. I'm going to leave that rest of that time on the table. I think
Leaving
I'm good.
10 seconds on. Wow. This debate was a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, I'll say.
Oh, man.
I've just gone back and forth like, oh, do I? Will I? I don't know.
So
I loved it. I loved every second of this.
I did
one.
too.
Yeah.
I did too.
Fantastic.
Before I give my vote, Caden, what are your thoughts, man? As a viewer,
This is such a weird position to be in because I think what ended up happening, Matt, is you made too good of a case for Luigi. So I realized I love Luigi the most when he's standing on his own. Like, you can't have Mario's mansion because Mario's too calm and collected and cool and brave to do something like that. You know, you only get that experience and that vibe by it being Luigi's mansion. You know, I think from what I understand, Luigi is like arguably like a top tier character in competitive Smash Ultimate, whereas Mario is not. I think of stuff like Super Mario Thousand Year Door, where you've got this parallel adventure that Luigi's going on behind the scenes the whole game, and he's got his own party of like wild looking characters, and it's like, I want Super Paper Luigi the Thousand Year Door, you know? So you made such a good argument that it's like I have to give it to Steven because he's becoming his own defined person. I think he's more than a sidekick now, and you guys keep throwing this stuff out about Cappy, like he doesn't have autonomy, he's nothing without Mario, and it's like that's a sidekick, you know. So yeah, my vote goes to Steven here. Cappy's just like the definition of a sidekick to me. So yeah, very interesting debate.
Wow. That just blew my mind, honestly. Wes, as the assist trophy, let's get your vote. I want to hear your thoughts, man.
I kind of disagree with Caden. I feel like, based on the arguments, I do feel like Cappy is less of a sidekick than Luigi overall. I do think that Luigi is probably a stronger character, and I definitely think that Matt made that case handily. What particularly resonated with me, though, was, and he really hit the nail on the head for me personally when he was talking about little brothers, and that, you know, your player 2 is your, you know, kind of like your little brother growing up. And that's what it was for me and my little brother playing side by side. And so that kind of hit an emotional resonance with me that I really wasn't expecting to come up in this debate. And for that alone, I give my vote to Matt in this case.
Awesome. I'm an only child, so I wasn't really able to relate at that, but like as someone who grew up with Mario Bros and just playing like the games with like my aunt and even my mom, obviously I was always the second player, and so
you were always Luigi.
I was always Luigi. But with my personal opinion aside, I do like Luigi more than Mario, just as a character. I think he's got more character than Mario. But the one point that Matt brought to the table that really outshine Steven's debate is, while I do agree Cappy is a sidekick, he is more of a tool to Mario rather than just being a being, which I guess he still is a being, but he is used as a tool in Mario Odyssey. So I'm gonna give my vote to Matt, but Steven, you brought an excellent debate this time, and my points going to Luigi right here.
It was rigged.
It was not rigged. I promise it was not rigged.
It was rigged.
Show us the Cappy beanie that you've got off screen too, in case you were going to vote for Cappy.
Yeah, I dropped it. I can't grab it right now, but I'll yeah.
I have to say this was a hard debate for me because I do love Cappy, and Mario Odyssey is one of the best 3D platformers ever made. And you had such strong arguments, but you know, I will take this preliminary victory until the vote goes to the actual broader public.
I'll definitely concede. I thought I was coming out strong, and then by the end, when you said that, I was referring to the game, and I was like, oh, that's I felt like I lost at that point. After because I had enough. You know, I had enough vitriol against Luigi, even though I love Luigi. But I could definitely understand. But at the same time, I really liked Caden's rationale about sidekicks because of the fact that Luigi has had his own game. But sorry, Yoshi, you're nowhere near. Your only duty is to fall down death pits and like let Mario survive. So
yeah, there you go. The true answer.
The true answer. So we'll go into the results of our last debate, and it was Joel versus Kratos as the best video game dad, which
I did vote in this one, by the way, on the Discord. My first vote contributed.
I don't think either of them are necessarily good dads, but the community agreed with me, and Joel, being a better dad than Kratos, took the win 6-4. Congratulations, Wes. You got another point on your board.
I finally won another debate. Finally. It's been ages. My God, I'm getting my butt kicked.
So that's the debate, and we'll see you in the pitch.
All right, and And we're back with the pitch. This segment wherein a few of our panelists will have 2 minutes each to give a elevator pitch or sales pitch, if you will, for a game they've been playing, and the rest of us will decide if we're buying it or not. I will nominate Steven to step up first to the pitcher's mound, and Jonah will count you down and let you know when you have 2 minutes.
All right. You've got 2 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, pitch.
Let me introduce you to a world of a video game that has the stakes of Dark Souls,
Ooh.
the big numbers of Monster Hunter,
Okay.
the strategy of Fire Emblem.
Oh.
This
Right.
is a game. It's all about just going up against the odds, working out a strategy that works for you. It's so hard to explain this game without giving it away, but all I can say is some of the coolest art in a video game, some of just the wildest abilities and the way a game can flip on you. You can feel like you've got the advantage, and then in a single second it can all change, and then you are scrambling to formulate a new strategy. And one of the greatest things about this game, I'm not even going to use up the 2 minutes. This is a short and sweet, get to the point.
30 seconds.
The coolest thing about this game is like an itch.io game, where like the developers are like, look, you can play this game, for free if you want, and if you really like it, then you can chip in some money. It's such a cool game, and it's just like, the strategy is just so incredibly deep with it, and you can have so much fun. So that's my pitch.
All right. Said he wasn't going to use the full 2 minutes, and basically used the full 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, I'm buying it, especially since he teased at the end there. It's a free indie game, basically. But yeah, when you were listing off those descriptors at the beginning, I was doing the full-on like Vince McMahon meme where he's like mildly interested and then jaw drop and then he falls back in his chair. Yeah, so I'll bite. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned some of my favorite games, so like I'm definitely interested. It sounds like the kind of thing that would absolutely suck me in. So I'm buying it as well, I think.
I guess I'm gonna be the downer on this because I'm not super into
Dark Souls and Fire Emblem.
Dark Souls, Fire Emblem, and Monster Hunter. Man,
what the hell is
that? Yeah, I'll probably sit out on this one, but it does sound interesting. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'm in. You got me, especially with the strategy part. Like, I really enjoy a good strategy game. So count me in.
All right.
It's so nice of you all to say that, because the one person that has played this game is Jonah. And welcome everybody to the ground floor of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Welcome to the community.
Amazing.
Let's get the game in. Let's
Glorious.
go. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'm not surprised I got suckered by that because I used to play Magic the Gathering and do like card games and like yeah.
The reason why I said the big numbers is because like my favorite thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is compared to Magic, where you're hitting for like 1s and 2s,
Right.
you're hitting for like 4,500. You're hitting for like 10,000.
I mean, I hate that personally.
On there. It's so good. You're using the great sword, man.
Oh my god, you got me so good.
Please explain how Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is like Dark Souls again.
Oh my god, if someone pulls out a synchro, Jonah knows this, if someone pulls out some synchro or some psychic craziness or some pendulum monsters, they just, on turn 1, they pull out a boss, like literally a boss card, and you just gotta go, okay, have I got anything that can help me out here? Can I play a trap? Can I
Right.
stall? Can
Because
I
Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't
work
have
out-
like a resource like mana, like magic or something.
No,
It's just
you
like
can
you
go-
just keep fucking going.
Other than turn 1, you can't attack directly on turn 1 if you have the first draw, but people can still win on turn 1, and you have to have like hand traps in the current like game. So like we would get to like level like usually about silver rank and stuff on on Duel Links because the skill ceiling is so incredibly high.
Yeah.
But there's so many different ways to play the game that you can have fun, like at different casual levels to the pro levels. But yeah, literally when you see someone just pull out some stuff, and the fact that you can come back, even when someone's like, they've used like 20 cards in one turn, and you're just like, oh my god, my brain is already hurting. And like, I'm not going to read all of your cards. Like, I'm not going to read what you do. All I'm gonna do is just try and use like Trap Hole or Tribute of the Doomed to like take you out.
Did it work? I don't know. Like,
it sometimes works, and like when you beat someone that's using a meta deck, it just feels so good.
My favorite thing about that game is, well, it's like a haha ironic kind of favorite thing is you'll sit there on round 1 and the person's going first and you see them, they're just playing card after card after card after card after card, and you're sitting there for a solid like 4 or 5 minutes, which that's not a lot of time, but when you're sitting there staring at your screen like, come on, I want to play my turn, they do that. They make one minor mistake, they quit, and you're like, you just wasted 5 minutes of my time, but I got the win, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's it.
You're seriously still gonna beat my Dark Magician deck, but that's fine. I'll take the win.
You guys know that you're the reason why Konami's not investing in new Silent Hill and new Castlevania. And all that
I
stuff,
have
right?
spent $0. The nice thing about that game is they just throw the currency at you to buy new decks and stuff. It's real nice.
I'm just joking.
Y'all have reminded me why I'm happy I stopped playing Yu-Gi-Oh, started playing Magic.
Get him.
All right, cool. Well, next up to the pitch round will be our guest, Matt Storm. Jonah, give Matt the countdown when you're ready.
All right, just real quick before we start the countdown, do you want something I've finished recently or something I am currently playing?
It doesn't matter.
Whatever you're most excited
It literally
for
doesn't matter.
to talk to us
Game
about.
you played 20 years ago.
All right, let's do it.
3, 2, 1, pitch.
Imagine a world devoid of hope, but you are playing as a character who could be that last hope. You could bring unity, kindness back to the world. It is an action-adventure game with gorgeous sweeping worlds, multitudes of planets you can go to, tons of colorful characters. It is a game that's not new. It's been out for a little while. It's recently got updates, but it is a game that not only is challenging but fair. Think Dark Souls, but actually approachable. It is, and this is someone as a recent Dark Souls convert. But no, this is an action-adventure game where you use your skills, your powers, and your weapon to defend yourself and also pick up the little guy and eventually kind of move towards trying to save the world. It's beautiful, especially the PS5 version that's now out, a little bit of hint, or that's been out for a while, but that I'm currently playing is more gorgeous than the PS4 version. It's really in-depth, engaging, incredible actors in it, great performances. Like I said, colorful characters and just a lot of fun. I've rediscovered my love for this game. I had played it once before when it first came out, and I'm so glad I went back to it. I'm barreling through it on a second playthrough, almost 3/4 of the way through the game again after just a few days of just diving into it. And it's really fun. The music is incredible. It's just kind of the total package of a AAA game, and one that I really love. And makes you feel powerless, but then leads you to that power, but not as a power grab. Just it gives you the tools to get the job done, to fight it back against evil, and to be the hero you were meant to be.
Wow.
I said 30 seconds is actually more like 20, so I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'll bite on this one. It's probably going to be one of those things where it'll seem obvious in hindsight, but I just have no idea what it is right now, and it sounds really cool. Like sci-fi, going to different planets, save the world. I'm in.
Okay.
What do you think, Jonah?
I wasn't thinking about the different planets aspect of it, and I thought you were just being cheeky and you were talking about Death Stranding, but obviously you're
It was
not.
not.
Yeah, I'll buy. This sounds interesting.
Quest.
I didn't hear anything that sounded bad to me. Like it all just it sounded really, really good. So there's nothing that I heard that put me off of this. So you got it.
I'm struggling to think of what this is, other than possibly Outer Wilds is the thing that just came to mind. But I don't know about like PS5 versions of any games recently of space opera sort of style games. Yeah, I'm fairly into space, but I'm nowhere as into space as I am into fantasy. This sounds like a on sale pickup for me, or maybe Game Pass.
Fair enough. All right, Matt. The reveal.
The game is the recently announced sequel of Star Wars Jedi.
Okay.
Well, that
Yes.
Okay.
I'm hoping for an improvement on the first one. I was
Sure.
I was moderately impressed.
I'm pleased with my purchase. I mean, I beat this game, and there's room for improvement, but it's still solid, really solid, fun game. I enjoyed my time with it a lot.
I absolutely loved that game when I played it. I
Yeah.
rarely go for platinum, and I platinumed that game. And
Gotta get those ponchos.
I had so much fun with it. So, absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was one of those games that like I remembered liking a lot when I first got it. You know, I'm a Star Wars fan though, and what I mean by Star Wars fan is, for one, I'm not racist like a lot of Star Wars fans we're finding, but also I'm someone who just likes Star Wars, good, bad, the prequels, the sequels, the current Obi-Wan show. I love it all. I eat it up. I drink your milkshake. Is that still current reference?
I don't know.
I really just love Star Wars. And when I saw the trailer for Jedi Survivor, I was like, I should replay it. And then I played an hour into the game before realizing that I had a free PS5 update because I had the disc. So I updated it. And this game, like, it was pretty on the PS4. But if you have the ability to get the update, even just play the opening hours, it's phenomenally gorgeous. Like, they were pushing the tech. But the update, like the faces look better, the worlds look gorgeous, the lightsaber stuff is always great. Like it's just, I'm just sucked back into it. And I know a lot of folks didn't like Cal, but I happen to like that actor. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, and I think Cal was fine as far as protagonists go. He was fine. I mean, what's her name? Deborah, I can't remember, who plays Siri, the former Jedi Master. She is Deborah Wilson, I believe, is phenomenal. Like absolutely steals that game. Like is incredible. But the whole cast is great. And like I think if someone passed on it before, you should give it another shot because it really, I feel like, is a good game. And you're right, Survivor does look like it's going to be the better version of that. It's going to take what they built and just go for the moon.
Yeah, I played a little bit of it
quickly. Like,
go ahead, Steven.
They made it incredibly quickly, so I can understand the rough edges. Like I had a lot of bugs and glitches and stuff, which was the main reason I had issues with the game.
Sure.
But yeah, and also I didn't like the ending because it usually bow ties the fact of that it's going to be, closed, closed loop. That's my biggest issues with the game. Yeah.
BD1 easy candidate for best droid in Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh, hands down, without a doubt.
That's a good video game sidekick.
That's a great video game sidekick. As someone who doesn't really care too much for Star Wars, I think it's a little overhyped personally, but I had a lot of fun of what I did play of this game. I played it on Game Pass on my Series S, and I put maybe 20 hours into it, and I had a lot of fun.
Oh, okay.
I do like the aspect of just being able to dig around. Oh, look, I got a new lightsaber part, and just getting to mess with all the things to build the whole lightsaber. I think it was really fun. I like that they give you like the double blade like super early on, so you get to do all that stuff, and it completely changes the combat of the game. I do hope that the next game has a little bit more polish to it. The game really does feel like an Unreal 4 demo. And that could just be because I've played a lot of Unreal games. I know kind of what they feel like.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm excited for the sequel. I'll probably just do a story recap and then probably pick it up for when it comes out. I'll probably play it on my Series S because good chance it'll be on Game Pass, but we'll see.
Fun fact about the PS5 version: when you change your lightsaber crystal in your lightsaber, your PS5 controller, the light up on it, changes to that lightsaber color. Like
That's a nice touch. That's a
that
nice
detail.
touch.
When I first noticed that, I went, "No."
How are
you."
how are
It's
how
like,
are the
no way.
haptics? How are the haptics with the DualSense? With that
They're
game?
fine. They don't do anything with the triggers really, and it vibrates a little too much for my taste. But like, it's fine. It's nothing. It doesn't feel like you're wielding a lightsaber. Nothing after the Wii will feel like wielding a lightsaber. The Wii felt like wielding a lightsaber, but it had games for it. So.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that leaves us with one page left, and that is Wes Bates. Gonna give him the countdown.
All right, Wes, you got 2 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, pitch.
All right, I'm going to take us back to a time when we enjoyed classic platforming. We're talking 2D, jumping on heads, getting shot out of barrels, and changing into different things to get different abilities. That's the kind of game that I'm bringing to the table. We're talking about a game here that basically brings to the forefront all of the best aspects of the Donkey Kong Country series in the best possible homage to that series that I have ever played in my life. The graphics of this game are absolutely crisp and colorful. You remember back when you were a kid and you looked at a video game and it looked almost like a cartoon and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. This looks just like a cartoon in motion. That's what we're talking about here. That's what this game looks like. It's basically just like it's really vibrant, really fluid. The controls are tight. The levels are extremely varied. You've got stuff where you've got like a lake of acid that's rising up and you have to keep pace in front of it. You've got stuff where you find a power-up that transforms your character completely into a completely
30
different
seconds.
Character, like a bird with wings that can shoot fireballs, or a shark person that can swim like 3 times as fast and do spirals through the water to knock out enemies. You're jumping in catapults that are shooting you left and right and ping-ponging you across the screen, and it is just classic feel-good platforming at its best. And it's a game that I absolutely loved.
Time. Excellent.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
So it's not Donkey Kong Country, but it's an homage to Donkey Kong Country.
I think I know what
I
it
know what
is.
it is,
I think I do too. Yeah.
If it's not Ukulele the Impossible Lair, I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
But he said it was 2D, but I don't know if he meant 2D gameplay or 2D graphics or both. But I guess if it's Ukulele the Impossible Lair or something different and possibly a little bit better, then I guess I'm in. I mean, I love platforming. What do you think, Matt?
I mean, 2D platformers, as I've told Wes, are some of my favorite games of all time. I mean, I've already mentioned Shovel Knight 3 more times than I probably had any right to, and I will probably mention it more. I love Metroidvanias as well, and like any kind of 2D action game. So like, this is like, I've been yelling from the rooftops the magic that is Tropical Freeze, one of the best Donkey Kong games ever made on the Switch. The Switch version is phenomenal. So like, I'm in. Even if this is Impossible Lair, which I've played, I'll play it again. I'm in. But if it's not, even better, because I love new 2D platformers as well.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, you know what? I've been kind of itching to play my Switch more. It's literally just my Zelda machine. I really don't play my Switch a lot, and I'm kind of sad. But you know, this this is kind of giving me that itch to play it some more. So hopefully it's on there at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're assuming this game is on the Switch.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
assuming it's on the Switch, and you know what? If it's not, I'm out.
I'm pretty sure this game is on everything. I don't think it's on Game Pass, but I love DKC more than I love 2D Mario. So for me, this is definitely higher on my list. I stupidly bought Impossible Lair on my son's Switch, but not my own. And so I haven't played that, although it's on Game Pass. So I do need to get into that, and it does look great. So the fact that you're saying it's the best DKC clone is really interesting to me. But yeah, so I'm definitely thinking about on sale on Switch would be the time for me to play this game, because yeah, I do love some DKC, but I'm more of a Metroidvania than a left to right platforming person. Yeah, so no, I'm interested to see what people think about.
All right, Wes, the reveal.
Okay, this game is not Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair.
Gotcha.
This is a little game called Kaze and the Wild Masks.
Yeah. Wes told me about this game recently. I watched the trailer for it. It looks awesome.
So yeah, this is it is basically just a love letter to classic Donkey Kong Country. It basically has different abilities that you come across during different stages, which basically mimic a lot of the abilities from the animals that you could ride in DKC. It replaces barrels with slingshots instead to bonk you around. You can do the classic, like Kaze does like a spin attack, which equates to Donkey Kong's roll or Diddy Kong's cartwheel. You can do that like spin attack off and then jump, you know, like so you can still like off the platform and jump. It's just super solid fun. Like you can do every level once you finish it once. You can do like a time trial, and it like starts a clock at the top, and you know, clock at the beginning. You go back in the level. If you want to do the time trial, you jump.
It's sets it up for speed runs too, man. Oh man.
So it's completely optional. It just adds like more playtime if you want to like try to, you know, like assuage that perfectionist in yourself. It's got the classic Kong letters. It's just spelled Kaze instead, so you can go through and find all the letters in every level. It's the soundtrack is super chill, maybe not quite up to Donkey Kong Country levels, but it's still very, very good. That's like a super, super high bar, but it's still a very, very good soundtrack. It's just a really, really good game. I don't hear many people talking about it, and I had I blew through it in like 4 days because I just couldn't put it down. It's super great on Switch because it's one of those like you pick up and you play like one level and you knock it out in like 7 minutes and put it down and then come back to it later in the day.
I love that.
I'm gonna do another level real quick, and then you can just you're slowly burning through this game like way faster than you ever thought you would.
This is 5 hours. This is 5 hours on howlongtobeat.com. That's my wheelhouse. 5 to 10 hours is the perfect indie game. Like I can chew that up, digest, enjoy, and then move on. Oh, this is at the top of my list now.
What's the live structure like, since it's a DKC thing? No lives, or there are lives, and what's it?
There's no lives.
Excellent.
No lives.
Excellent.
Excellent. It's infinite continue, and every level has a checkpoint halfway through. Some of the levels are extremely difficult. Not to the point where
Tropical Freeze gets quite difficult at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it ratchets up at the end also on this one, but never to the point where it's like impossible. Like it's just like you're trying to get all the collectibles and you're like, I keep dying because I can't get that stupid Z, you know, in Kaze on this one level. And finally you get it and you're like, Yes, thank you. Now I can move on.
Does it have a what did Tropical Freeze have? The funky mode or whatever?
Oh, funky mode.
The new
yeah.
funky
It doesn't have a funky mode equivalent. So you've got to just pull up your gamer pants and
one thing with the
I'm
checkpoints
out.
is in DKC, if you die, if you get a checkpoint, you'll lose Kong. What happens in Kaze? If you got to halfway point where you have K and A,
you do, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't lose any of your collectibles up to and even if you like get every level also has like 2 secret bonus stages. So you find these little like warp zones and they'll warp you into like a really quick little mini bonus stage. If you win that bonus stage, as long as you don't like exit the level, even if you die like right afterwards, you still retain the, MacGuffin you got from beating the bonus
Quality
stage.
of life. That's what I'm talking about.
Love it. Hell yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to playing Kaze and the Wild Mask, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and Jedi Fallen Order tonight. And with that, that wraps up the pitch, and I'll turn things over to our resident game master, Wes Bates, for the game.
Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about video game series sales. I have a whole slew of series here, and I'm just going to be asking you guys, which of these series collectively do you think has sold more, one or the other? And you guys just take your best guess, and then I'll tell you roughly how many copies of games this series has sold. All of the numbers I got were from a website that charts video game sales. I think it was like vgsales.com or something like that. Some of the I tried to do my best to like fact check some of these numbers and like double check on some other websites and stuff. So hopefully they're fairly accurate. But for the purposes of this game, we'll just go with the numbers that I have. Any questions?
No, I'm good. Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Starting out, what do you guys think has sold more copies? The Resident Evil series or the Animal Crossing series?
Oh.
Yeah, I just can't. It's got to be Animal Crossing. I mean,
literally, New Horizons is over 30. It's almost 40.
yeah. I mean,
So,
Resident Evil's been blowing up recently, but it's
Yeah.
older numbers.
Seeing as
probably
Resident Evil
not.
7 is the biggest selling Resident Evil game of all time means that, unfortunately, it hasn't sold as much as we think it has, even though Resident Evil 4 has been ported to every single system, like including like your desk lamp. But
Yeah. But
Uh,
also remember that like the early Animal Crossings, they sold okay overseas.
Mhm.
But like here, like they did fine on the GameCube. Lots of people played it, but it wasn't Resident Evil 4 numbers. Resident Evil
The
sold like
question is
gangbusters.
like, did the entire Resident
But,
Evil series
yeah.
sell better than Animal Crossing New Horizons?
Exactly.
Yeah, you've got a Wii version of Animal Crossing, and you've got the new Leaf on 3DS.
Yeah.
Both of those would be over 10. I think that would stomp out Resident Evil. I think it's close.
I personally think it's Resident Evil just because it's been a franchise longer and it is on more platforms than just Animal Crossing being on the Nintendo, you know?
Yeah,
So,
those PC sales.
yeah.
I'm with
All right.
Jonah. Yeah,
Let's-
I gotta
let's-
go.
Let's find out. The answer is Resident Evil. Resident Evil has sold over 113 million copies. Animal Crossing has sold over 74.
Okay.
Okay.
So I mean, it's close.
It is
you
close.
guys weren't far off. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
close.
Interesting.
So. All right, guys. What sold more copies, Halo or Need for Speed?
Oh, that's
Ooh,
a weird
That's
comparison.
tricky.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
See, I feel like it's a trick question. The only reason he's put these two together is because it's got to be Need for Speed. Because the obvious answer seems to be Halo, right? Like
Yeah.
Halo's got to be the better seller. But I'm gonna just sight unseen. I'm gonna go with Need for Speed.
Yeah, I feel like Need for Speed is open more to a casual fan base, kind of
Right.
like Call of Duty is. There's
Yeah.
that, and then, like I said, it's on more consoles. And you got to remember, a lot of Halo sales kind of got cut in half because of Game Pass. So
Mm.
if
But
we were
if you
going
think
based
about-
off downloads, then
There
I'd
also just
probably
aren't that
say
many Halo games compared to Need
exactly,
for Speed.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I've got Need for Speed for True.
You got seven mainline Halo games, or is it 8 now? I can't remember. And then there's Halo Wars and some other little spin-offs. But the only thing I can think of is like, what games did everyone play of the Need for Speed franchise? Like, only Hot Pursuit and Underground come to mind.
Right.
And racing isn't as big of a seller as people think it is as well.
Yeah.
Like, even though Gran Turismo is like this amazing series, it doesn't sell like incredibly.
Are you trying to
well.
say you're picking Halo?
I'm gonna lose every single time. I'm only picking Halo, and it's weird because it's only on a single system. I think it's gonna lose, but I'll go Halo just for the.
The answer is Need for Speed. Apparently, there's a reason they keep making that series. 150 million copies sold versus Halo, 81 million.
It's just like your casual gamer eating up Call of Duty every year, getting that Need for Speed.
Yeah.
81 on 8 mainlines, not too bad.
That's still not
for
bad
single
numbers,
system.
Yeah.
For single system and a little bit of PC.
No, it's not bad at all. I just thought it was interesting that Need for Speed sold so much more. All right, Tomb Raider or Uncharted?
Oh, that's kind of.
I'm just gonna give it to Tomb Raider for the
I'm gonna
pedigree.
go.
It's just been around way longer.
I'm gonna go Tomb Raider just for the length of time, but at the same time, I'm sure like 4 probably sold over 10 million.
I mean, I got to go with Uncharted because also there are the 2 HD remasters now. There's the original trilogy HD remaster, and now the spin-off game and 4 that got up-res to PS5. So like that plus all of the original games selling like gangbusters and the portable games. I think I got to give it to Uncharted.
But Tomb Raider Go.
I'd love to know how many copies like HD remasters sell, like whether it's like a million or 2. Like, it'd be an interesting discussion. But I'm gonna go Tomb Raider just for longevity. Seeing as I've lost every other one, I might as well lose this one too.
I'm actually gonna go with Tomb Raider on this one as well, but I think it's gonna be a lot closer than we think.
Yeah.
All right. The winner is Tomb Raider.
Okay.
81 million compared to Uncharted, a paltry 41 million.
Oh, really?
Okay. Wow, that's a lot less than I thought. But you make a good point. It's the multiple consoles thing again, right? Tomb Raider's on multiple platforms. The Uncharted, for now at least, is still only on PlayStation. That makes sense.
It hasn't been ported to PC yet.
On like PS3 and PS4, PS3 especially, there weren't many like 10 million sellers because there was just such a wide girth of games.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Mario Kart versus the Legend of Zelda series.
Mario Kart.
That's an easy one.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Sorry.
Absolutely Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 alone probably sold more.
It would be that close.
You're right. It is Mario Kart. 154 million to Zelda 125 million.
Oh wow! Okay. Wow!
It's closer than I thought.
Yeah.
Closer than I thought.
Because with the Wii U, I think Mario Kart 8 would be close to like 60.
Yeah.
Okay. Pokemon or Minecraft?
But entire series.
Pokemon.
Entire series.
I'm gonna say Pokemon
because they sell about Red Blue is about 24, and then roughly it's a bit under, usually about 17ish for pretty much the rest of the series. The lowest ones are about like 8 or 9ish, so it's probably Pokemon because
I got it.
Yes, Minecraft sold over 250 million, but it's only a single SKU.
Well, it's got Minecraft if you're including Minecraft Dungeons or whatever.
And the Telltale game.
And the Telltale game story mode. But no, I'm gonna agree. I think it's got to be Pokemon, especially with
Pokemon
Arceus.
as well.
Like,
it's gonna be close.
Yeah, there's a lot more games.
I'll also go Pokemon.
In this case, it is Pokemon. I don't know about these numbers for Minecraft though. You said Minecraft sold 250 million.
It's over 200, but they could include the freeware downloads in.
Might be a discrepancy
because
between
this number is
too.
This number stayed 73 million. So I don't know.
It might be like hardware only sales or something.
Could be. All right, well, let's move on to the next one. We don't want to linger too much on that. Assassin's Creed.
Pokemon's number? Sorry.
368.
My God.
Assassin's Creed or Metal Gear?
I've got a Metal Gear, but
Assassin's
it's
Creed.
great.
They released one every year for so long. It's got to be
I
Assassin's Creed.
hate that it's Assassin's Creed.
Me too.
There's got to be
Although-
a reason why they haven't remastered. Like, if Konami doesn't bring it back, there's a reason it's sales. Like, you know.
Even though I fell off of Assassin's Creed after the Ezio trilogy, the best games they ever made, I don't like Kojima flat out, and I don't like any of his games. I respect that he does incredible work, but I'm just not a fan. So, like, to me, it's like I don't care who wins, but I think it's logically, it's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
It is Assassin's Creed. 155 million to Metal Gear's 57.
Oh, that's so
Million.
sad.
That's
So
actually
sad.
pretty high. I
Yeah.
didn't think it'd even be that high.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of side games and stuff.
Yeah.
It's all the Metal Gear Acid.
Well, it'd be
Exactly.
That really,
It-
that really put it over the top. You know?
it'd probably be a
popular.
lot more if Konami decided to port it to the PS5. You know, like
Yeah.
Or anything.
Or literally anything. The Switch,
Yeah, exactly.
PC, literally anything. Yeah.
All right, Castlevania or Bioshock?
oh,
Bioshock.
oh,
I think Castlevania is about impact and not about sales. It's like Metroid.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
Castlevania.
I
Yeah,
still
I-
don't. Good.
I was just gonna say I have to go with Jonah. I think it's Castlevania only because it was on so many different platforms. Even though the games were multi-platform, there
Yeah.
were like 4 Game Boy Advance games and like 3 DS games. There was a 3DS game.
True.
There was like then the relaunch with
You
the
got 3
the-
Bioshock games. Yeah.
like so. I think just dearth of amount of games and how long Castlevania's been around. It's got to be Castlevania.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm betting on the longevity of the series too, so I'm going Castlevania.
The answer is Bioshock.
Wow.
25 million to Castlevania's 20 million.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like, because a
Alright.
lot of them wouldn't have even been million sellers. A lot of those
Yeah.
games.
Ah.
Like,
Sure.
yeah.
You're right. Yeah, that makes
Holy
sense.
Probably would have been
Right.
Castlevania 1, 4, and Sotten.
Yeah.
Symphony of the Night would have been the
Yeah.
only 3 that would have sold well.
Yeah.
All right, Ratchet and Clank or Devil May Cry?
Dude.
It's gotta be Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, it's got to be Ratchet and
I love
Clank.
Devil May
Yeah.
Cry, but it's a niche
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah, Ratchet and Clank. Because,
Huh?
it's like, how often do you see Ratchet and Clank discounted? How often do you see DMC discounted? Like, you know.
My only argument will be Devil May Cry is multi-platform. The 5th game and the 4th game are on PC.
Oh.
They're on multiple
True, true.
console. Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3 have been re-released and remastered on PC, Switch, and all these other consoles. So I'm gonna pull for the underdog also because I love it, and so Devil May Cry.
The answer is Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
27 million, Devil May Cry 24 million.
My
Oh,
only
yeah,
my
it's
only
Pretty close that
reason
time.
my only reason for Ratchet and Clank is because of the PS2 and how
Yeah.
many PS2s were sold. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Devil May Cry was on the PS2 also. So
I mean,
like,
you know
That's-
what? You're right,
yeah.
but I think Ratchet and
3
Clank
Devil May
is
Cry games.
Ratchet
Yeah.
and Clank is more recognized as a family game, and that's
Yes,
when
right,
absolutely.
more of our generation of the hardcore gamers were
That's-
getting into games. So
yeah.
That's the tricky
Although
thing
it's-
about Ratchet and Clank because it's got guns and saying it's a family game, but it's like at
Yeah.
the same time, I really I hope that PlayStation really prop up Astrobot as they move forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be surprised if by the end of the PS5 that Ratchet and Clank game doesn't sell 10 million because it looks pretty amazing. I haven't played it obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all those people that haven't quite gotten over Devil May Cry 2 yet. They're just like all those salty
game was
fans, you
bad.
know.
That
Yeah.
game was bad, and DMC was also bad, and I loved that game, but it was bad. 5 is amazing. Though.
All right. Persona or Yakuza?
Yakuza.
Hands down, without
Yeah.
a doubt, one of the greatest franchises of our generation, and it is
Yeah.
absolutely the higher seller.
This is going to be tight as well. I don't think they're
Yeah.
high sellers in any way, but at the same time, the Japanese market, I'd say, bought more Yakuza than, especially if it's got an MMO. Like, if Persona had its own MMO, then maybe I'd believe it was Persona.
you just got to think about
so
how
yeah.
limited Persona is, though. Persona 5
Yeah,
blew
but
up, and
does
4
does
Golden
SMT
blew up.
count, or is it only Persona?
Right.
I'd say
It's
the
not-
Persona
it's not
offshoots.
SMT. It's
Okay.
it's just
Okay.
Persona. It's just
Only
Persona.
Yeah.
I'll go with the underdog and pick Persona just because, like, I feel like there's got to be a lot of people out there like me that just see 7 Yakuza games and just like turn and never look back again.
Well, that's why it took so long for them to get a remaster. 3, 4, and 5,
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's sold.
All right. The answer is Yakuza, but not by much. Yakuza has sold over 17 million. Persona has sold over 15 million.
Oh wow, that's
Okay.
very
Yeah,
close.
15 on
Very
5
close.
games and 17 on 7.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
with an online game, which wouldn't count to sales. But yeah.
Technically, there's more than 7
Alright.
too.
Oh, there's
because they're spun
Ishin
off.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Kingdom Hearts versus Kirby.
Gotta be
Oh,
Kingdom
oh,
Hearts.
okay.
Kingdom.
It's-
Oh,
it's
yeah,
got-
Kingdom Hearts. Because Kingdom Hearts 3 was like one of the best-selling games of that year, 2018. Or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
and then all the
Um,
games got remastered and ported out to everything. I
Yeah.
think it is going to be Kingdom
I've
Hearts.
never
Kirby's
bought
like-
a Kirby game. in my life.
I've played and own almost every Kirby game.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
but they only
Make
sell
it up.
like 3. They only sell like 3 million or 1 million
Yeah.
usually. So like they're not.
They don't have Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, yeah, it's got to be Kingdom Hearts.
They don't have Cloud.
I'm gonna stick with Kirby, but I think y'all are right.
It's
The
gonna be
answer
close.
is the answer is Kirby.
Really?
Over 38 million.
on 50
and-
million games.
Yeah, and Kingdom Hearts is 35 million plus.
Oh, so
There's
it's
my
pretty close.
guy.
I
Flying on
doubt
his warp
it's
star.
power. I doubt it's cosmic power.
Wow.
Cosmic power.
Okay.
All right. Tekken or Tony Hawk?
Oh.
Tony
Uh,
Hawk.
Tekken.
Tekken.
Mm.
Okay, fighting game community is not that big. Why do you think that? And Tony Hawk 2 and 1 were like top sellers for a long
Yeah,
time.
I have to go with Tony Hawk because fighting games are always kind of niche. I just don't believe it, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Tekken.
If it was Street Fighter, I'd say Street Fighter, but you
Yeah.
know,
7 Tekken games and cross tag battle. And
yeah, I'll change my answer to Tony Hawk.
You would be wrong. It's Tekken.
Oh, dang it!
53 million versus Tony Hawk's 30 million.
Huh?
Okay, this is
interesting.
I'd just like to point out that Matt has climbed his way back up to a tie with Jonah for first place. So the
It's
stakes are real
on.
now.
It's so on.
Let's go.
Alright,
Let's go.
We got 3 left here.
Okay.
All right, Dragon Quest or Donkey Kong?
Gotta be Dragon Quest. Like
yeah, Dragon Quest just because
everyone,
of the Japanese market.
yeah,
Like, even
everyone
if-
who's alive in Japan buys that every time it comes
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like,
They literally take days off work and like they have public
Yeah.
holidays. and
Yeah,
stuff for
Dragon Quest.
I have to. Well, I have to go against Jonah if I'm going to get ahead, but also it's Donkey Kong. It's got to be because you're thinking original Donkey Kong, and even if just the Donkey Kong
Oh.
Country games and like the spin-off, he had so many spin-off
Every
games.
quarter put into the arcade machine counts as purchase.
millions of copies.
I'm going with Donkey Kong.
It is Dragon Quest,
Okay.
but barely. Dragon Quest 84, Donkey Kong 83.
Whoa!
Kong sold that well. I did not realize it was that big.
Well, it's been around for like 35 years
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So, all right, Crash Bandicoot or Mega Man?
Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Crash.
That's got to be Mega Man.
'Cause, well, Mega Man's a low seller.
Yeah,
High
part of me
impact, low
thinks that
sales.
like the Crash, like,
Bandicoot, low impact, high sales.
yeah, I think Crash Bandicoot, Insane Trilogy, and Crash 4 probably like outsold all Mega Man combined or something. So I'm gonna go Crash Bandicoot.
I don't think many people bought
What
Crash 4. actually.
Matt and Jonah, what were your guesses?
We both guessed Mega
both
Man.
Mega Man.
Okay.
The answer is Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, I should have changed it.
Fi-
Alright.
50 million compared to Mega Man 37.
Ooh.
How many more questions are there?
One
One.
more.
Okay, so now Jonah and Steven are tied in first place.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. I did not
Matt's
expect
behind by
that.
1 point.
Okay.
All right, the last one. God of War or Borderlands?
Oh!
Oh, no.
This
That's
reaction.
interesting because I'm pretty sure God of War might have gotten to 20. The new one, 18. So that's a really
I'm gonna
good
say
bump.
Borderlands.
I'm gonna say, oh, well, that means we. Okay, I'll go the opposite just so we have a winner. I'll go
I'm
God
gonna
of
go with God of War as well.
I'll go God of War. Yeah.
It's Borderlands.
Let's
There
go!
74 million. God of War over 51 million.
War. Yeah.
My whole thing with picking Borderlands is just because God of War is an exclusive, and exclusives
Yeah.
are just
Yeah.
automatically
Not anymore.
limited. Yeah.
I'd be very unsurprised if Borderlands 2 didn't sell 30
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Borderlands 1 and 2 were gangbusters.
But you got
Everyone who
Borderlands
had a
1,
360.
Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, you got the Telltale game, which I know the Telltale game did very good, and then you got 3.
Yeah.
I was always
And
freaked
Tiny
out
Tina.
by the cover art whenever I'd go into like game or EB games and like the freaker guy with his little mask and he's
Psycho.
like Psycho, yeah. I was always like, oh.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Nice.
Winning
Yeah,
it
he's
with
a true
Borderlands.
fan. He's got the Borderlands.
I'm actually not. I got this. My buddy gave it to me because he had a loot crate.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
Jonah, yeah, you get
Congrats,
to be the
Jonah.
king of the
Good
game
job.
for 2 more weeks.
Woo!
Nicely done.
Silent
Fun year.
applause. Thank you, Wes, for putting the time to put that game together. I know it takes some time and effort on your part to research everything and get all the questions organized. So thank you so much. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks, Wes.
Absolutely.
All right. We have reached the end of the podcast. Congratulations, everyone. We'll just go around real quick, lightning round, final thoughts. Matt, you're welcome to plug any social media or podcasts or anything shamelessly that you want. No judgment here. I'll let you go first since you're the guest. Final
Sure.
thoughts.
One, I just want to thank y'all for having me. This was a ton of fun. I've been a fan of the show since Wes introduced me to it.
Oh, thank you.
While we were recording, I followed everybody on the Twitters. So I'm really excited. Hopefully, I'll get y'all to do side quest episodes too. I'd really
Sweet.
love that.
Heck yeah.
Yada story side quest.
Yeah.
Oh, get it out there,
Okay.
Caden.
But yeah, this was a blast. I'll happily come back. I love your community. It's been great being on the Discord. I wish I could be more active. I've just been really busy, but I love the community y'all have built. You can find the best place to find me is DJ_Stormageddon literally everywhere. It's my TikTok, my Twitch, my Twitter, my Instagram. If you Google DJ_Stormageddon, you will probably find me. My website is www.djstormageddon.com, no underscore in that one. That you can find all the podcasts that I work on, my Ko-fi page, my merch store. Yes, I have merch. It is Pride Month, folks, and I am gay as hell, so buy my merch. But seriously, if you want to check out any of the podcasts I'm working on, again, they're all at certainpov.com. Since this is a video game podcast, I will plug Really Hard Fun and Games, which has been an incredible show that's grown so much over the last few years. We had press badges to PAX East, interviewed a ton of indie developers, which was a blast. I had my own panel, which is also in that feed, about the evolution of queer representation in gaming, which had an incredible diverse panel. It's just the show has been mine and Jeff's brainchild, and we've grown it so much over the last few years, and it just continues to kind of grow and bringing the community of gamers of all stripes who play on any platform together, which is the whole goal. So yeah, so check all that stuff out.
Awesome.
And if you're on Twitter, say hi.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Jonah, final thoughts / housekeeping.
So we had our Chicory Game Club. It probably wasn't the turnout we were expecting or looking for. I don't know, maybe. But that's over, and we're gonna be coming up with a new game club here pretty soon. We also have our merch. Here's our GGD stickers. You can get those at redbubble.com. We had some issues where somebody stole a couple of people stole our art, and we're trying to resell it, and
It's hilarious because it's like we're so small and niche, and everybody's heard of it. It's like, why did you like what are you branding GGD as? That's not us, like,
So I was really mad that day because I spent like my entire lunch break at work trying to get that stuff taken down. Redbubble was awesome. They got it taken care of in like 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
So there's that. If you're looking for a link, it's on our Twitter page. It's the first pinned tweet. You can do that. But on a side note, we've got summer games done quick coming up here pretty soon. Zach Pearson and I, the brothers Pearson, and the Great Game Debate, we're teaming together to give incentives for a Great Game Debate donation. So stay tuned. We'll have more information for that pretty soon, but we're gonna have some really cool stuff to give away, and it's all the money's going to charity. I believe it's Doctors Without Borders for Summer Games Done Quick, and let's just watch some awesome speed runs and donate to a good cause.
Sick. Wes,
Hell yeah.
final thoughts.
I just want to thank Matt again for being here on the show. It's great having you. So happy that was literally. I'm gonna go on and on and on. I think this is gonna be like the poster child debate that I use like as the example going forward for like the kind of like good time debates that we have on the show with our guests. And both you guys just
Stop
absolutely
it.
killed it, and I loved it. So thank you so much. Again, I'm not on the Twitters anymore, so unfortunately you won't find me there, but come find me on Discord and hang out with me there. And we just had a state of play, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And I just want to say I am super hyped for pretty much everything that they showed. I'm especially hyped for Stray coming out
Me too.
next
Oh my
month.
god.
So,
I want that so bad. It looks so good.
July, it's almost here. So yay, Stray.
Real quick, Wes, you were telling me about it. You said there was going to be one game that I was going to be super interested in. Is it the roller skating, like, my friend Pedro game? Is that the game that you thought I'd be super stoked for, or was it Resident Evil 4?
Rollerdrome.
It was Resident Evil.
Oh, okay. Rollerdrome looks so sick. It looks like Jet Set Radio meets my friend Pedro. It looks so awesome.
Knockout Kings.
It does look awesome.
Sweet. Steven, you're up. Final thoughts.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Happy Pride Month to everyone out there living their truth. We love you. We support you. We see you. Just keep up. Keep it at it. I know it's hard out there, but yeah. Just know that there's a lot of support around.
Awesome. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Happy Pride Month. Really great game debate. You can find us on YouTube. Just search Great Game Debate Podcast. We're on Twitter at Great Game Debate, spelled DEB, the number 8. Either of those places or any of our personal Twitters, you can find a link to our Discord where it's just chill, mature, good vibe, non-toxic discussion of whatever pop culture you're into, and it's a ton of fun. So I've been your host, Kaden Birthday Lane, and happy gaming. Bye.
Bye.
As always, a big thank you to our friend Misdriven for the music in our podcast. If you like what you hear and you want to check out more of what they have, you can pay them a visit on Twitter at MIST_RIVEN 719 or on Bandcamp at Misdriven. Thanks again for tuning in. Till next time.
I'm mad. I had a line that I wrote down that I didn't say, but I meant to close my whole argument with blood is thicker than cloth. I wrote it down. It was in my notes, and I forgot it.